Friends, today we stand on the threshold of revelation, poised to lift the veil that has so long hidden the truth from our eyes. You have been told, perhaps subtly, perhaps loudly, that your financial destiny is shaped solely by the advice of those you pay to guide you, that your security, your wealth, your very future rests in their hands. But I assure you, this is a lie, a limitation cleverly disguised as wisdom. The law of abundance is a law of spirit, a law that responds not to the fears of men but to the faith, the belief and the vision you hold within yourself. Too long have we walked with the illusion that financial freedom is a distant prize, to be measured in charts, spreadsheets, or the nod of a suited authority. Too long have we allowed ourselves to be bound by the opinions of men who, in truth, are servants to the very system they claim to master. They speak of risk, of caution, of the safe path, but they seldom speak of the great law of manifestation, the law that says, what you truly believe and expect, that shall be your reality. Every moment you have been told to invest wisely, plan for the future, or trust in my guidance, you have been invited to place your power outside of yourself. You have been asked to turn your dreams over to someone who does not know your heart, your desires, or the vision that flows from your soul. And in that act of surrender, your abundance has been quietly limited. Remember, the universe does not work according to the calculations of men. It works according to the certainty of your faith and the clarity of your intention. Do not misunderstand me, my friends. I do not speak against the cleverness of men, nor the intelligence they may possess. I speak against the belief that their understanding can ever surpass the infinite wisdom that resides within you. There is a power greater than any market, any investment plan, any expert opinion, a power that answers every affirmation, every inspired thought, every unwavering expectation of good. And this power has been waiting for you to claim it, waiting for you to recognize that your financial prosperity is your divine right, not a favor to be earned or a strategy to be followed. So, let us step bravely into this revelation. Let us uncover the hidden assumptions, the whispered fears, the clever narratives that have kept us compliant and uncertain. Let us see clearly the one lie that has been told to us again and again, that we are not capable of creating our own wealth, that we must rely on another to unlock abundance. For, in truth, wealth is not the product of advice, but the reflection of your inner consciousness, the materialization of your beliefs, and the natural expression of your faith in infinite intelligence. True financial power resides within you, and this is a principle that has been whispered through the ages, yet so often overlooked in the busy chatter of the world. Many have been led to believe that wealth, security, and abundance are granted only by the advice of others, by the cunning calculations of those deemed experts, or by following strategies designed to manipulate numbers and markets. And while knowledge has its place, it is only a tool, a reflection of what already exists in the consciousness of the one who seeks it. The real power, the true power, is the unseen force within you, the infinite intelligence that answers every thought, every expectation, and every faith-filled declaration you make. This power is not dependent on certificates, not subject to the opinion of the market, nor bound by human limitations. It is your birthright, as natural and inevitable as the sunrise, and it waits to respond to your awareness of it. From the earliest days of life, you have been taught to look outside yourself for guidance. From parents, teachers, mentors, and advisors, the message is always the same: follow the rules. Trust those who know more. Let someone else make the decisions that affect your future. And in the world of finance, this message is louder than ever. Advisors speak with confidence, citing experience, trends, and formulas, and it is easy to feel that their knowledge is somehow superior to your own intuitive understanding. But here lies the subtle danger. The moment you place your power outside yourself, the moment you turn your focus to another as the source of your financial destiny, you relinquish your connection to the inner intelligence that governs abundance. You give away the one tool that can never fail, the law of your own consciousness. Every dollar you earn, every investment you make, every opportunity that comes your way is a reflection of your inner state. If you believe that you are dependent on the guidance of others, then your results will mirror that belief, and limitations will appear as reality. If, however, you awaken to the truth that the power to create, attract, and multiply wealth resides within you, then every number, every plan, every decision becomes secondary to the clarity of your intention and the certainty of your faith. Your mind is a magnet, and your beliefs are the force that draws to you the exact circumstances, opportunities, and resources that correspond to your dominant thought. It is not the market, it is not the advisor, and it is not luck. It is the alignment of your consciousness with infinite intelligence. The world is filled with examples of those who believed in the invisible, those who trusted their own vision and were guided by their inner knowing rather than the counsel of others. They did not rely on the shifting opinions of the market or the cautious warnings of those around them. They knew, with a certainty that transcended fear, that the universe is a generous source and that prosperity is the natural outcome of faith-filled action. Their abundance was not a gift from another, but a manifestation of the power within themselves. This same power is available to you at this very moment. It is the quiet voice within, the still small knowing that says, "I am capable. I am worthy. I am a channel through which wealth flows freely." Consider for a moment the subtle ways in which external dependence diminishes your power. When you follow advice without aligning it with your inner guidance, you create a dissonance between your thought and your action. Your mind may be filled with numbers and strategies, yet your heart knows differently. This conflict is the source of hesitation, of missed opportunities, and of the frustration that keeps so many from experiencing true abundance. The remedy is not to reject all advice, but to place every decision within the framework of your own knowing. To affirm, "I have the wisdom within me to discern the path that leads to prosperity. I trust the intelligence that flows through me, and I act from that knowing." Every time you recognize the power within, you strengthen the connection between your conscious mind and the universal law of abundance. You begin to see that wealth is not a distant prize, to be sought in spreadsheets or financial reports, but a natural extension of your inner consciousness. It flows when you align with your vision, speak your affirmations with certainty, and act with faith rather than fear. The moment you fully grasp this truth, you step out of limitation, out of dependence, and into a life that reflects the richness of your inner being. Abundance responds to belief and faith, and this is one of the most profound principles you can ever embrace in your journey toward financial freedom. The world would have you believe that wealth comes only through effort, calculation, timing, and strategy, as if abundance is a prize to be wrested from a reluctant universe. Yet the deeper truth is that the universe does not resist, it does not delay, and it does not discriminate. It responds with perfect precision to the vibration of your consciousness. Every thought you hold, every expectation you nurture, and every belief you declare acts as a signal to the unseen forces of creation, drawing to you circumstances and opportunities that correspond to the nature of your faith. Wealth, like a river, flows to where the banks are open, and it cannot be forced, but it can be welcomed with unwavering belief. Many have approached money with anxiety, doubt, or fear, and the results are always consistent. Fear creates resistance, and resistance blocks the flow of abundance. Those who live in the shadow of scarcity, who anticipate loss or expect limitation, find themselves trapped in circumstances that mirror their inner doubts. Their advisors may give them instructions, their spreadsheets may look balanced, and their strategies may seem sound, yet the invisible law cannot be circumvented by intellect alone. The law is simple: what you believe and expect with certainty, that manifests in your life. Faith, therefore, is the key that opens the door to infinite wealth, and belief is the magnet that draws prosperity to you effortlessly. Faith is not blind, it is not the act of ignoring reality, it is the conscious choice to align your thought with the truth of your divine inheritance. You are created in a universe of abundance, and there is nothing lacking that your mind can conceive in harmony with your purpose. Every affirmation, every declaration of expectation, and every visualization of success is a seed planted in the fertile soil of your consciousness. If you water it with belief and shield it from the weeds of doubt and fear, it will grow, it will expand, and it will manifest in forms tangible and beneficial. The universe honors certainty, it honors clarity, and it honors faith expressed with courage and joy. Consider how often people place their hope in external systems, in market trends, or in the advice of others, thinking that security and wealth are dependent upon conditions outside themselves. This is a subtle deception, a lie that obscures the fact that your inner belief is far more powerful than any strategy or forecast. Your thoughts are like seeds, and the universe responds not to the outward appearance of effort, but to the invisible reality you maintain in your consciousness. The man or woman who fears loss, who doubts their capacity to create wealth, cannot attract abundance, no matter how brilliant the plan. The one who believes in the unseen, who declares prosperity with conviction, will see their faith take shape in unexpected, miraculous ways. Faith also works as a compass. When you believe that abundance is inevitable, you begin to recognize opportunities that were previously invisible. Doors that seemed closed swing open. Ideas that appeared impossible suddenly crystallize into practical action, and allies appear who resonate with your vision. Belief clears the fog of doubt, aligns your intuition, and strengthens the clarity of purpose necessary for decisive action. It is not the numbers on a balance sheet, nor the advice of others that brings wealth. It is your own certainty that abundance is yours, and your willingness to act from that certainty. The great law of faith operates on the principle that nothing resists its own fulfillment. When you believe in the reality of abundance, you are harmonizing with the universal flow rather than opposing it. Every worry, every fear, and every hesitation weakens that alignment, while every affirmation, every expectation, and every joyful acknowledgement strengthens it. The universe never hesitates. It is ready to respond to the thoughts and beliefs you hold. To embrace faith is to recognize that you are a powerful co-creator, that wealth is not an accident, and that your inner belief has the capacity to shape the entire landscape of your financial life. Relying solely on others limits your prosperity, and this is a truth that is often veiled by the allure of guidance and the comfort of expertise. From the moment we are taught to defer to authority, to listen to the wisdom of others, to follow plans and advice without question, we have been conditioned to believe that our own judgment is insufficient. And while counsel may provide information, it cannot substitute for the inner knowing, the intuitive wisdom that resides at the core of your being. Every time you hand over your power to another, every time you allow someone else to dictate your financial choices, you place a ceiling upon your abundance. True prosperity flows only when your decisions are aligned with your vision, your desires, and the intelligence that resides within you. The world of finance, in particular, thrives on this tendency to rely on others. Advisors speak with authority, their words carrying the weight of experience and knowledge, and it is easy to assume that their guidance is superior to your own insight. They warn of risk, advocate caution, and present strategies designed to navigate the complex tides of markets and investments. And in following them unquestioningly, many surrender their creative power. What they fail to realize is that no formula, no plan, and no advice can substitute for the law of consciousness, the law that dictates that what you hold in your mind and affirm in your heart inevitably becomes your reality. Prosperity is not a product of someone else's plan. It is the expression of your own inner alignment. Dependence on external authority often brings a subtle, creeping fear, a sense that your security rests in the hands of another. This fear undermines initiative, stifles inspiration, and clouds the clarity of judgment necessary for true wealth creation. The universe is abundant and responsive, but it works through the principle of personal responsibility. You are the architect of your financial life, and only by stepping fully into that role can you unlock the potential that has been waiting for you all along. To rely exclusively on the advice of others is to obscure your own vision, to delay the recognition of opportunities, and to diminish the flow of abundance that is naturally drawn to faith-filled action. Those who achieve true financial freedom are those who trust their own discernment, who listen first to the inner voice of wisdom before consulting others. They recognize that advice can serve as a guide, not a master, as a reference, not a replacement. Every decision is filtered through the lens of their own understanding, their own intuition, and their own clear vision. They affirm, I am capable of recognizing the path that leads to my highest good. I am guided by intelligence greater than any calculation, and I act with clarity and faith. In this alignment, guidance becomes a tool to be used wisely, rather than a chain that restricts the flow of abundance. Consider the subtle ways reliance on others limits prosperity. When you follow someone else's plan without testing it against your inner knowing, hesitation and doubt often follow. Opportunities that are in perfect harmony with your purpose may pass unnoticed because they do not appear on the advised path. Fear and uncertainty arise because you have placed your confidence in another's perception rather than your own clarity. Your energy becomes scattered, your focus divided, and your creative power diluted. Yet when you trust yourself, when you affirm your ability to navigate your financial life with guidance from your own consciousness, a remarkable transformation occurs. Your decisions are infused with certainty, your actions with courage, and your results with the unmistakable signature of aligned intention. To rely on your own guidance is not arrogance, it is an acknowledgement of the divine intelligence within. It is the recognition that the same universal law that governs the planets and the oceans, that orchestrates every season and every natural abundance, is also at work within you. By stepping fully into the awareness of your own power, you break free from limitation, you open channels of opportunity previously unseen, and you allow wealth to flow in forms that reflect the totality of your vision and your faith. Dependence on others may provide comfort, but independence aligned with universal law produces results that are both permanent and transformative. Wealth is a natural expression of your inner consciousness, and understanding this truth is the gateway to realizing the abundance that has always been your birthright. Too often people perceive money and material success as external realities, separate from themselves, dependent on circumstances, luck, or the favor of others. They study charts, follow trends, and seek guidance, believing that prosperity is something outside them to be captured, earned, or negotiated. And while knowledge and effort have their place, they are only extensions of the deeper truth. What you hold in your mind, what you affirm with your words, and what you believe in your heart will inevitably take form in your life. Your outer world is a mirror of your inner consciousness, and financial prosperity is no exception. From the moment you begin to realize that wealth is not merely an external accumulation, but a reflection of your inner state, a new sense of freedom emerges. Your thoughts, your beliefs, and your attitudes act as the creative force that molds circumstances, opportunities, and outcomes. The universe responds not to the anxiety of scarcity or the meticulous planning of men, but to the certainty, clarity, and faith that resides within you. Each thought of lack tightens the grip of limitation, and each thought of abundance releases a flow of resources, opportunities, and ideas that align with your vision. Your consciousness is like fertile soil. The seeds you plant in thought and belief will grow into the tangible experiences you call reality. Those who have mastered the art of financial manifestation do not merely rely on chance or the advice of others. They understand that the outer world is shaped by the inner world, and they cultivate a consciousness that is attuned to prosperity. Their minds are filled with expectation, their hearts with gratitude, and their words with affirmation. They speak in the language of abundance. I am prosperous. I am guided to wealth. I attract opportunities that serve my highest good. In doing so, they create an invisible blueprint for their lives, and the universe responds with a perfect orchestration of circumstances that mirror the vision they hold. Money is not random. It is a reflection of your vibrational alignment with the law of abundance. Consider how often people act as though financial success is separate from who they are, as though it must be fought for, bargained for, or earned through struggle. They labor long hours, take on debt, or follow the prescriptions of advisors without first examining their own consciousness. Yet the universal law is simple. What you hold as true within your mind and heart will inevitably be mirrored in your outer experience. If your consciousness is filled with doubt, fear, or scarcity, your reality will reflect those vibrations, and no strategy, no plan, and no guidance can override the power of your beliefs. Conversely, when your consciousness is aligned with abundance, Wealth flows naturally, effortlessly, and continuously as a natural expression of your inner state. Your inner consciousness is a creative force of infinite potential, and wealth is one of its many expressions. Just as a tree bears fruit in proportion to the life force within it, your financial life reflects the strength, clarity, and positivity of your inner beliefs. Every time you affirm your capacity for success, every time you visualize financial abundance with conviction, you are strengthening the vibrational alignment that allows prosperity to manifest. You do not need to struggle or plead for resources. You only need to recognize that abundance is your natural state, and that your outer circumstances are a reflection of the thought patterns you cultivate. Many have been misled into thinking that wealth is a product of external effort alone, but true prosperity is inseparable from consciousness. The mind and heart are the primary instruments of creation, and every dollar, every opportunity, every advancement flows from the invisible to the visible. To cultivate this awareness is to step into the knowledge that you are not at the mercy of circumstances, markets, or the advice of others. You are a co-creator with the infinite, capable of shaping a life of abundance that reflects the richness of your inner vision. When you recognize that wealth is a natural expression of your consciousness, you align yourself with the source of all abundance and begin to move in harmony with the law that governs the universe itself. The biggest lie is that you are incapable of creating your own financial freedom, and this is a deception that has been quietly accepted by generations, woven into the fabric of society as if it were an unquestionable truth. From childhood, we are taught that money is scarce, that wealth must be earned through struggle, and that only those with special knowledge, access, or connections can attain it. Advisors, institutions, and cultural narratives reinforce this belief, suggesting that the average person must rely on external authority, follow prescribed paths, and wait for permission to prosper. And in believing this lie, countless souls have unknowingly limited themselves, handing their creative power to others while their own innate capacity for abundance remains dormant. The truth, however, is far different. Financial freedom is not granted by another, nor is it a reward to be earned through toil alone. It is the natural expression of your consciousness, the manifestation of your inner faith, your clarity, and your belief in your own divine capacity. Every individual possesses the inherent power to shape their circumstances, to attract wealth, and to manifest opportunities in accordance with their vision. The law of prosperity operates impartially, responding not to status, credentials, or favor, but to the certainty and expectation that exist within the mind and heart of the one who seeks it. Your ability to create is limitless when you recognize that financial freedom is not an external achievement, but the outward reflection of your inner state. Consider how this lie has been perpetuated. Financial advisors often present themselves as gatekeepers of abundance, experts who possess the secret knowledge required to navigate markets, investments, and strategies. Their guidance is framed as essential, their authority as necessary, and their counsel as the determining factor in your success. And while advice may offer useful information, it is never a substitute for the power within you. To rely exclusively on another is to disempower yourself, to accept limitation, and to create a subtle barrier between your desires and their realization. The universe, in its infinite intelligence, cannot deliver to you what you have delegated to someone else to control, because creation begins within, not without. Every dollar you desire, every opportunity you seek, and every financial goal you hold is first conceived in your mind. Your consciousness acts as the seedbed for all manifestations, and the law of prosperity responds faithfully to the vibrational quality of your beliefs. If you believe that someone else is responsible for your wealth, that you must wait, or that success is only attainable through external intervention, then that belief will shape your reality. If, however, you recognize that you are the origin of your own abundance, that you possess the innate intelligence and creativity to attract and generate wealth, then you align yourself with the law that governs all creation. The world will then begin to mirror your inner certainty, presenting opportunities, resources, and pathways that resonate with your faith-filled expectations. The lie of incapacity also fosters fear, doubt, and hesitation. When you are told, explicitly or implicitly, that you cannot create your own financial freedom, you internalize limitation, and your actions reflect that belief. Hesitation replaces initiative, worry replaces confidence, and dependence replaces trust in your own intuition. And yet, the very same law that responds to fear and doubt will also respond to courage and faith. To reclaim your power, you must consciously choose to reject the narrative of incapacity, to affirm your right to prosperity, and to act from the certainty that you are fully capable of creating the life you envision. History is filled with examples of those who refused to accept limitation, who recognized their innate power, and who manifested wealth beyond the expectations of others. They understood that financial freedom is not a favor, not a result of luck, and not contingent on someone else's guidance. It is the natural outcome of aligning thought, belief, and action with the universal law of abundance. They knew that the only true limitation is the belief in limitation itself, and that once this belief is dissolved, opportunities emerge effortlessly, creativity flourishes, and wealth manifests in accordance with their inner vision. By recognizing the lie that has been told and stepping into the truth of your own power, you unlock a limitless capacity to create, attract, and enjoy the abundance that is rightfully yours.